I always believed that relationships were built on trust. That's what I told myself from the very beginning, when I first met Daniel. He was charming, attentive, and had this way of making me feel like I was the only person in the world that mattered. I fell for him hard. Maybe too hard, but isn't that how love works sometimes? You dive in headfirst, hoping the water is deep enough to catch you. For the first few months, everything felt like a dream. We laughed together, stayed up late talking about the future, and even started discussing moving in together. He would bring me flowers randomly, text me sweet good morning messages, and always made sure I felt safe with him. He seemed perfect, almost too perfect, but I didn't want to question it. I wanted to believe that I had finally found someone who saw me, truly saw me, for who I was. But as time went on, little things began to change. At first, they were subtle, a missed call here, a delayed reply there. He started going out with friends more often, and when I asked him where he was or who he was with, his answers felt vague. He'd brush me off with, just with the guys, don't worry about it. And I didn't want to be the controlling partner, the one who nags or interrogates, so I kept quiet. But something inside me kept whispering that something wasn't right. His hugs weren't as tight anymore. His eyes didn't linger on me the way they used to. Our conversations started feeling like routines rather than connections. And then came the nights when he wouldn't come home until late, claiming he lost track of time. I tried to convince myself that I was overthinking it, that I was being paranoid. After all, wasn't I supposed to trust him? But deep down, my intuition was screaming at me, louder and louder each day. That's when I decided to try a little trick. It wasn't something dramatic, nothing illegal or invasive. Just something simple that would either put my heart at ease or confirm my worst fears. The trick was this. Instead of asking questions directly and giving him room to dodge or lie, I created scenarios where the truth could reveal itself naturally. I paid closer attention to patterns, behaviors, and especially his phone habits. I didn't go snooping into his messages. I wanted to respect privacy, but I observed. And observation tells more than words sometimes. One night, Daniel said he was going out with his friends to watch a game. But his, guys' nights, had become so frequent that something about it felt suspicious. So I casually asked, "Oh, where's the game? Maybe I'll join you later after I finish my work." I said it in the most lighthearted tone, pretending I genuinely wanted to come along. His reaction, he froze, just for a moment, but enough for me to notice. Then he forced a smile and said, "Nah, babe, it's just the guys. You wouldn't like it, boring stuff." That was red flag number one. The trick was working. His body language betrayed him, even if his words didn't. And once I started paying attention, the red flags only grew brighter. Another time, he told me he was going to a friend's house. I didn't say anything, but I noted down the time he left and roughly how long it would take him to get there. Hours later, he texted me saying he was still hanging out. The problem, his best friend, the one he claimed he was with, posted an Instagram story, and Daniel wasn't in it. Instead, the story showed just a few other guys, none of whom Daniel had mentioned. The puzzle pieces were starting to align. But I still didn't have proof. Proof was important, not because I wanted to catch him in some dramatic way, but because I needed to know that I wasn't going crazy. So I set up the final part of my trick. I tested his stories against reality. One weekend, he said he was driving out of town for work. That didn't sit right with me because his job rarely required travel, especially on weekends. So instead of confronting him, I acted supportive. "Oh, okay, drive safe, call me when you reach." The next morning, I decided to do something bold. I went to the coffee shop he always loved, the one he claimed to be too busy for lately. And there he was, not out of town, not at work, sitting in that very cafe, with another woman. My heart didn't just sink. It shattered. I stood frozen at the door, watching him laugh with her, his hand brushing against hers in ways I hadn't felt in months. My chest tightened, my throat went dry, and every ounce of love I had for him felt like it was collapsing under the weight of betrayal. He didn't see me at first. I could have turned around, walked out, pretended I never saw it. But no, I had to face this. I walked right up to his table. He looked up, and the color drained from his face instantly. The woman shifted uncomfortably, sensing the tension. "Out of town, huh?" I said, my voice shaking but steady enough to carry the truth. He stammered, trying to come up with an excuse, but the trick had worked. The truth was out, raw and undeniable. The argument that followed was messy. He tried to deny it, then tried to twist it, then finally admitted he had been seeing her for a few months. He gave me the usual lines, "It didn't mean anything, I still love you." I was confused. But none of it mattered. Because in that moment, I realized love without honesty isn't love at all. It's just a performance. I walked away from him that day. And it hurt. It hurt so deeply that some nights I wondered if I would ever heal. But slowly, I began to rebuild myself. I started journaling, spending more time with friends, rediscovering hobbies I had abandoned. I realized that losing him wasn't the end of me, it was the beginning of me finding myself again. And here's the thing, that one trick wasn't about catching him. It was about listening to my intuition, about valuing myself enough to stop living in denial. Sometimes we want so badly to hold on to love that we ignore the signs, silence our gut, and pretend everything is fine. But deep down, we always know. Trust is not built on words. It's built on consistency, actions, and honesty. If you ever feel like something is wrong, pay attention. Don't be afraid to seek the truth. Because the truth, no matter how painful, will always set you free. I learned that the hard way. But I'm grateful I did. Because now, I know that I deserve better. I know that love should never make you question your worth. And most importantly, I know that sometimes, the trick isn't really a trick at all. It's just choosing to open your eyes.